Hello everyone. Welcome to a fascinating journey into the world of human reproduction. Today, we are diving deep into a very specific and crucial topic, the male reproductive system. We'll explore its key components, the testes, vas deferens, and urethra, understanding how they work together to ensure life continues. Get ready for an exciting learning adventure, moving from easy explanations to competitive insights. Let's start with the basics. What are the main parts of the male reproductive system and what do they do? It's simpler than you think. The male reproductive system is a remarkable biological factory. Our first key component, the testes, are like the primary production units. These oval-shaped organs, nestled outside the body in a pouch called the scrotum, have two incredibly important jobs. First, they produce millions of tiny male reproductive cells called sperm. Second, they're responsible for making male hormones, like testosterone, which are vital for many body functions. The location of the testes outside the body is no accident. It provides the slightly cooler temperature essential for healthy sperm production. Next up, we have the vas deferens, which you can think of as the transport highway for sperm. This long, muscular tube efficiently carries the sperm from the testes, where they are made, towards the urethra. Imagine a conveyor belt moving products from the factory floor to the final exit point. And that exit point is the urethra. In males, the urethra is quite unique. It's a tube that serves a dual purpose. It's the pathway for urine to leave the body, and it's also the pathway for semen, which contains sperm, to exit. However, these two functions are carefully separated, so they never happen at the same time. Time to test your understanding. Think about these questions. 1. Where in the male body are sperm primarily produced? 2. What is the main function of the vas deferens in the reproductive process? 3. Can you name the tube in males that has the unique role of carrying both urine and semen? Take a moment to recall the key points we just discussed. Ready to go a bit deeper? Now we'll uncover more details about how these organs work and their significance in the grand scheme of reproduction. The male reproductive system is much more than just a collection of organs. It's a finely tuned biological machine with the critical role of ensuring the continuation of human life. Its primary mission is not only to produce male gametes, or sperm, but also to synthesize and regulate male sex hormones. These hormones are absolutely essential for sperm maturation and for the development of male characteristics. Ultimately, the system is designed to efficiently deliver viable sperm to the female reproductive tract, making fertilization possible. It's a testament to biological precision and purpose. Let's zoom in on the testes. These aren't just sperm factories, they're also endocrine glands. Inside, tiny coiled tubes called seminiferous tubules are the sites of continuous sperm production. But that's not all. Nestled between these tubules are specialized cells called Leydig cells. These cells are the master producers of testosterone, the most important male sex hormone. Testosterone drives not only sperm development but also the deep voice, muscle growth, and body hair that characterize male puberty. The scrotum's job is to keep the testes at a slightly lower temperature than the rest of the body, creating the perfect environment for healthy sperm. This delicate temperature balance is crucial for fertility. Once sperm are produced, they're not quite ready for action. They move into the epididymis, a highly coiled tube attached to each testis, where they mature and are stored. From there, the vas deferens takes over. This strong, muscular tube acts like a powerful pump, using rhythmic contractions to propel sperm rapidly towards the urethra during ejaculation. It's not just a passive tube, it actively transports and can even temporarily store mature sperm. The urethra, as we know, is the final shared pathway. It extends through the penis, serving as the exit route for both urine from the bladder and semen during ejaculation. Special mechanisms ensure these two fluids never mix or exit at the same time. Now, Let's challenge ourselves with some slightly more detailed questions. 1. Why is the external location of the testes so critical for their function? 2. Can you describe the two main, distinct functions of the testes? 3. How do the muscular walls of the vas deferens contribute to its role? 4. Explain the dual purpose of the urethra in males. 5. What significant role does testosterone play in the male body beyond just sperm production? Take your time to formulate comprehensive answers. Ready to elevate your understanding? We are now going to analyze the intricate mechanisms and regulatory systems that make the male reproductive system so effective. The male reproductive system's success is a result of highly integrated functions. It's not just about producing sperm, but also about the precise timing and conditions for their maturation and delivery. This entire process is under incredibly sophisticated hormonal and neural control. From the initial stem cells called spermatogonia, through meiosis I and II, to the final transformation into mature spermatozoa, each step of spermatogenesis is carefully orchestrated. This complex cellular dance, occurring within the seminiferous tubules, ensures a continuous supply of viable gametes ready for their role in reproduction. Any disruption in this delicate balance can have significant consequences for fertility. Hormonal regulation is the conductor of this biological orchestra. The hypothalamus, a control center in the brain, initiates the process by releasing GnRH. This hormone signals the pituitary gland to release two key players, luteinizing hormone, or LH, and follicle-stimulating hormone, or FSH. LH specifically targets Leydig cells in the testes, instructing them to produce testosterone. Meanwhile, FSH acts on Sertoli cells, which are like the nurse cells for developing sperm, supporting their growth and maturation. Testosterone itself then provides negative feedback, telling the hypothalamus and pituitary when enough hormones have been produced, maintaining a perfect balance. This intricate feedback loop is vital for sustained reproductive function. After production, sperm aren't immediately capable of fertilization. They embark on a crucial journey through the epididymis, where they spend weeks maturing, gaining motility and the ability to fertilize an egg. From this vital maturation chamber, they are transported by the vas deferens, a muscular tube that propels them with strong contractions towards the ejaculatory duct. This duct, formed by the union of the vas deferens and the seminal vesicle duct, then empties into the urethra. The seminal fluid, added by accessory glands, isn't just a carrier, it's a life support system for sperm, providing nutrients, protection, and aiding their movement. Every step is optimized to maximize the chances of successful fertilization. Let's tackle some challenging questions that require deeper thought and analysis. 1. Trace the complete and detailed pathway of a sperm cell from its origin to its exit from the body. 2. Explain in detail the role of the scrotum in maintaining optimal conditions for spermatogenesis, referencing specific temperature requirements. 3. How does the hypothalamus, through a series of hormonal signals, influence the production of testosterone? Describe the feedback mechanism. 4. What is the critical significance of sperm maturation occurring in the epididymis, rather than directly within the testes? 5. Differentiate between the processes of spermatogenesis and spermiogenesis, highlighting their distinct outcomes. 6. Describe the physiological mechanisms by which the urethra's dual function is managed to prevent the simultaneous release of urine and semen. 7. Name two key hormones involved in regulating male reproductive function, explain their primary roles, and mention the cells they target. Prepare to unlock the most advanced insights into the male reproductive system. We are about to explore competitive-level concepts, from embryonic development to genetic influences and clinical implications. The male reproductive system's journey begins even before birth, with the testes initially developing high in the abdominal cavity. Their crucial descent into the scrotum, typically during the 7th month of fetal development, is a complex process driven by hormonal signals and guided by structures like the gubernaculum. This descent is not merely anatomical, it's physiologically vital, positioning the testes in an environment that is 2 to 3 degrees Celsius cooler than core body temperature, which is absolutely essential for viable sperm production after birth. Any failure in this descent, a condition known as cryptorchidism, can lead to severe consequences, including infertility and a significantly increased risk of testicular cancer, underscoring the profound importance of this developmental event. Spermatogenesis is a masterpiece of cellular differentiation. It starts with diploid spermatogonia, which divide mitotically to maintain their stem cell pool and generate primary spermatocytes. These then undergo meiosis, reducing their chromosome number by half to become haploid secondary spermatocytes, which quickly complete meiosis to form spermatids. The final, dramatic transformation from a round spermatid to a streamlined, motile spermatozoon, complete with a head, midpiece, and tail, is called spermiogenesis. This entire process is meticulously supported by Sertoli cells, which act as nurse cells, providing nutrients and forming the blood-testis barrier, protecting germ cells from the immune system. Meanwhile, Leydig cells, nestled between the tubules, are the primary sites of testosterone synthesis, responding to LH signals from the pituitary. This intricate cellular cooperation ensures continuous and robust sperm production. The entire male reproductive axis is under the precise control of the hypothalamic pituitary gondal, or HPG, axis. The hypothalamus orchestrates this by releasing gonadotropin-releasing hormone, GnRH, in a pulsatile fashion. This pulsatile release is crucial, as continuous GnRH can desensitize the pituitary. GnRH then stimulates the anterior pituitary to secrete luteinizing hormone, LH, and follicle-stimulating hormone, FSH. LH specifically targets Leydig cells, stimulating testosterone production, while FSH acts on Sertoli cells, promoting spermatogenesis and the secretion of inhibin, which selectively suppresses FSH release. Testosterone, in turn, exerts a powerful negative feedback on both the hypothalamus and the pituitary, regulating GnRH, LH, and FSH secretion. This elegant feedback loop ensures stable hormone levels and continuous, regulated sperm production. Furthermore, the role of specific genes, particularly on the Y chromosome in the AZF regions, is paramount. Deletions in these regions are a significant cause of severe male infertility, highlighting the genetic blueprints for functional spermatogenesis. Understanding these genetic factors is key to diagnosing and potentially addressing certain forms of male infertility, moving beyond just hormonal imbalances. Once sperm are formed, their journey to full functionality continues in the epididymis. Here, they undergo a vital maturation process, acquiring both motility and the crucial ability to fertilize an egg, a process often referred to as post-testicular maturation. This phase involves biochemical and structural changes that prepare them for their ultimate role. From the epididymis, the muscular vas deferens takes over, rapidly propelling the mature sperm towards the ejaculatory duct during ejaculation through strong peristaltic contractions. The male urethra, as the final common pathway, is equipped with sophisticated sphincter mechanisms. The internal urethral sphincter, an involuntary smooth muscle, contracts during ejaculation to prevent semen reflux into the bladder and to ensure urine is not simultaneously released. Ejaculation itself is a complex sympathetic reflex, involving the coordinated contraction of various muscles and glands. Any disruption in this sequence, from genetic defects affecting sperm production to physical blockages in the vas deferens or neurological issues impacting ejaculation, can severely impair male fertility and overall reproductive health. Awareness of conditions like cryptorchidism, varicocele, and genetic deletions is vital for comprehensive reproductive health management and intervention strategies. Now for the ultimate test of your knowledge. These questions demand comprehensive answers, integrating concepts from across all levels. 1. Provide a detailed explanation of the physiological significance of testicular descent, including the hormonal and anatomical factors involved, and discuss the long-term consequences of cryptorchidism. 2. Describe the entire process of spermatogenesis, identifying the specific cell types at each stage and detailing the distinct roles of Sertoli and Leydig cells, including the formation of the blood-testis barrier. 3. Analyze the intricate neurohormonal regulation of male reproduction via the HPG axis, explaining the pulsatile release of GnRH, the differential actions of LH and FSH, and the negative feedback mechanisms of testosterone and inhibin. 4. Differentiate precisely between spermiogenesis, sperm maturation in the epididymis, and capacitation, outlining where each process occurs and its functional significance for fertilization. 5. Explain the precise anatomical and physiological mechanisms that ensure the male urethra's dual function for urination and ejaculation remains separate, detailing the roles of specific sphincters. Let's continue with the remaining advanced questions, requiring critical thinking and application of knowledge. 6. A male patient presents with primary infertility and a genetic analysis reveals a microdeletion in the AZF region of the Y chromosome. Explain the likely impact of this deletion on spermatogenesis and outline the diagnostic implications. 7. Discuss the engineering efficiency of the epididymis as a site for sperm maturation and storage, explaining why these processes cannot occur effectively within the testes themselves. 8. Compare and contrast the effects of continuous versus pulsatile administration of GnRH agonists on male reproductive function, explaining the underlying physiological principles. 9. Propose a detailed mechanism by which a blockage in the vas deferens, example due to infection or vasectomy, would affect semen composition and male fertility, while largely preserving testosterone levels. 10. A patient experiences retrograde ejaculation, where semen enters the bladder instead of exiting the body. Identify the likely anatomical or physiological dysfunction responsible for this condition and explain its impact on fertility. And that brings us to the end of our deep dive into the male reproductive system. I hope you now have a much clearer and more detailed understanding of this vital biological system. Remember, learning is a continuous journey. For more such engaging and in-depth educational content, make sure to visit synapse.omaps.in. And if you enjoyed this session, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for regular updates. Keep exploring, keep learning, and stay curious.